Hey, what's up, everyone? How's everybody doing today? It is Friday where I am, probably Thursday night where you are, and you're probably going, what the hell just happened? So, if you feel like that right now, that's normal. Don't let that ruin your day. Let's put it that way, okay? Everything's gonna work out, and the thing is, it's kind of scary places to be right now, but I'll tell you what's actually happening, and we'll show you a little bit about that today. So, are we being manipulated is a good question for this episode, because it's very, very likely that we are being very much so manipulated. Okay, so it's unfortunate that we might be, but I'm going to show you how and what actually may have happened, whether it be by accident or not. So if you're here, say what's up. If you're watching, click on smash on that like button, click on the subscribe. Let's see who's here. Brian, what's up? How you doing? Ray, Richard, and Daniel. BTC at what the F. Yes, I understand that feeling. If you're watching, guys, do comment, do ask questions, don't be shy. Look, how's it going, Lily? And yes, let's get started into seeing what's actually happening in the market right now so we can see what actually is going on. So I'm going to start on with this tweet here. I don't know what just happened to it. Let me just get back to it. And I'm going to show you what's really been going on. There's some really weird manipulative type stuff going on, and this is really where we're seeing it. So we see that the market just automatically had this huge fall, and people are probably wondering why this actually happened. So Suzu actually put this on here. I'm just going to try and get back to his tweet. Don't know what happened exactly. Just give me a second. It's not showing. All right, doesn't matter. Let me get back to it. Okay, so Bitstamp had this really weird wall that they had going on, and as you can see, we had the CME gap, and I told people about this CME gap right here, that generally the gaps eventually will fill. So the whole thing here is that everyone expected it to fill, and then it started pumping even higher. So everyone got super bullish. Even myself, I was like, okay, it's gonna start alt season, we're gonna be there soon. I saw this double top happen over here, this 1-2 double top action. I thought, oh, maybe we're gonna dip. And I let it play out, and I'll show you what I on my chart, how I actually let that play out. So right here you can see this double top action right there. Okay, and my computer's not working properly for some reason. Okay, good. Now it's working. So I drawn this line like, yep, we're on this nice uptrend. You know, we touched it quite a few times. What's up, Danny? Nice to see you. Tavo, what's up, brother? So we saw, kept touching it, coming back up, but we had this nice, beautiful double top, right? And that kind of signified that we might come down. We started to see this downtrend start forming here, and all of a sudden, this morning, my time around, I think it was like 5 a.m., we started to see this massive dump, and we actually hit the resistance right there. So this is what I was talking about, that, yeah, it definitely came down and hit resistance. Was it manipulated or not is the hard question that people are asking. So let me just show you this. This is a really interesting piece right here. Let me just say hi to some people. Sup, Joel, thanks for taking your time to do the stream live. No problem, Young in Investment SA, my pleasure. Do something with your name is really Davidson. Peter, how's it going? Danny, how's it going? All right, so Bitstamp, literally no joke, there was all these reports that you could not actually buy on Bitstamp. So what happens when it goes on is this: if Bitstamp has a buy button that becomes disabled like this, and you can't buy, and the price is dropping and people are selling, it causes even more pressure down. And what you don't know is that BitMEX does get a lot of its order book from Bitstamp, so they kind of share it, right, with, and apparently with Kraken, and also who's the other one? I'll try to find out who the other one is, but they share it with other people. So what you can see is this buy button got disabled. When the buy button got disabled, what happened was, it's very simple. No one could actually buy BTC from Bitstamp. What ended up happening was this massive rally down because everyone could sell and no one could buy. So what would cause is you'd see this huge negative downward pressure. So that's why you saw, and I shorted Bitcoin when I saw this starting to happen at 7,200 on BitMEX, and it went from 7,200 to 6,600 in like 10 minutes. I tried to sell it, and as you guys know, they always have this, or we're overloaded type thing going on. So I only got to sell at 1/3 of what I actually tried to sell at. So that was interesting. But you know, BitMEX is kind of in its own league of weird stuff going on there, right? So guys, just a reminder, click on those subscribe, like, and share buttons. Smash those likes up, y'all. Okay, so this happens, right? You have, you know, we find out that also, here's a look at interesting things with bots, that this BTC crash happened more on some exchanges than others as well. So that's another thing to also take in consideration. It didn't just happen on one, it happened on several different exchanges. So we go back here and we look at where are the possible things that are going to happen. Well, right here, if you've looked at the Ichimoku, we have the Tekken bounce, right? So it blasted through the Kujin, right? Usually it would bounce off the Kujin and go up. And if you watch, if you guys don't know anything about using Ichimoku clouds, they're very popular in crypto. Just use these settings: 20, 60, 120, and 30. But as you can see, the whole way up, every time we had a dip, it would dip off the Kujin line and would come Tekken line and come back up. And then we come down. Blah, I'm making these things blah, blah, blah. So as you can see, it hugged that line extremely well, and that's obviously something very bullish. So we have the Kujin, it bounces, it bounces, it bounces, and then all of a sudden we have this negative pressure and it pushes it right down. And then we get to the Tekken line, and that's where we found support as well. We had some support that we had built up from this area between 71 and 7200, and now we're kind of sitting pretty there. Now, one thing to remember, where would we go down next if we went down? Got some today, probably some more Monday. Yeah, buy the dip is not a thing that you should or should not do right now. I'm not going to give financial advice, but this is what could potentially happen. When it bounced off Tekken, it might be, and this is just a might, it might be a good buy, especially if that Bitstamp stuff was real, because there's still going to be buying pressure. Another thing to notice, that if we have the 3-wave down like we've had all of 2018 and you know, and some parts of 2019 where we have first wave down, second wave down, third wave down, that's something that's happened several different times. So we could see that as well. But here's something to also take in consideration. It could bounce off this line right here and it would go off the Tenkan and push back up, or we might have it come back up. And I'll show you guys this in a little drawing. We could have this play out as well. Something to keep in mind, that we could come back up to this support, and then we could actually see it come all the way down to this span right there. So we could end up testing the 6900 range again. And as you guys know, this is just in the future. It's assuming what will happen based off the past. So this could also not be the same cloud in a couple days. It could. There's things that could change with the data, right? But if it does go through there, we would probably come all the way down to 6,600. Now, I don't say that's going to happen for sure. These are just possibilities that you should keep in mind. I think that retrace was needed. It was starting to worry me, honestly. But here's the thing, guys. How much percentage is normal retraces? Usually about 20 to 30%. Here's the thing. Let's look how much we've retraced. We only retraced 15%. It would be much more likely that we do come down to this 20%, or even down all the way to this support line at 6,400, and even possibly all the way down to this 5,900 or 5,800 range would be a nice full retrace. I don't think we're going to do all that because there's a lot of positive momentum, and I'll show you that right now. So Facebook wise, these guys are, oh, I have to accept the policy. So Facebook coin could drive a mass adoption of crypto. Study concludes. So there was a study done, and what Binance Research Institute's doing it. So, you know, it could be skewed data. It could be very, you know, we want it to go up. So we want, these things could happen too. But just watch this. Facebook and Samsung are joining the stablecoin craze. Facebook and Samsung have a mass amount of users. Samsung just came out and they're going to use regular old Galaxy phones, like not the new great ones that come up, but the normal versions, the regular versions for everyone else that aren't flagship, will also have crypto wallets built in. This is going to drive adoption because people will have a way to carry crypto everywhere they go. So that's also something to see. Typhoon says, buy the dip. There you go. Could easily be 15K with doubling and 0% interest rates, inflation. Okay. Anyways, so here's what we have to look at as well. When you have things like Facebook with billions of users using it, It's huge. It's not something that's going to be small. It's going to be something that's quite big. Okay. And Facebook and Samsung working together could bring multi-billions of people, maybe 2-3 billion people, to actually look at what is crypto. Another thing to also think about. You guys aren't asking lots of questions. Throw them in there, guys. If you have any questions or any comments about what I'm saying, do not feel shy. Click on a like, smash it up, and click on that subscribe if you're watching via YouTube. But on point here, stable coins are becoming integral to Bitcoin. Obviously, we also have here's another thing you have to remember. CZ's been tweeting a little bit that potentially they would have a stable coin. We have this today. Tether ordered to freeze transfers to Bitfinex by New York Supreme Court. What this means is they're only allowed right now to pay their employees. They're not allowed to send extra funds. They're not allowed to cover any loans. But the whole thing is right now, I don't think they really care. And I'll tell you why I don't think they really care. They don't care for one main reason. Why should they? They just raised $1 billion of Tether. So for them, sure, this is what they're not allowed to do. They cannot loan any assets to Bitfinex or other parties. Who cares? Bitfinex just had $1 billion of Tether given to them for Leo. So they're good, right? Tether cannot distribute any funds from its reserves to executive employees or other individuals except for payroll. So what? So they can actually run their company. Nothing big deal there. Neither Tether nor Bitfinex are allowed to modify in any way documents. So basically, you're not allowed to modify documents that are legal. That should not be something that's very, mind-blowing. And the injunction that they have will expire in 90 days. And then the New York AG office can petition the court to extend it for 2 more weeks. But really, what does this mean? It means it's mostly just FUD. This is maybe a driving factor for for things to move down. And then we also see when we had this other negative news that the Binance hack has doubled Ledger's sales. So why am I talking about all this stuff? Let me just link it all together now. We have the Binance hack, right? We have this whole Tether thing. We have the Bitfinex, deal that we've got here. So we have all these bad things, right? And nothing out of all those bad things actually will cause us to affect the market. We're pretty sure that this is one of the main causes for the huge dump that we had. Not really because people were planning to dump, but people jumped in and got into the Fomo of the dump, like I did myself, and made some money doing it. No one's to blame for that. Facebook is good news. TD Ameritrade is really good news. So they're saying, TD Ameritrade is saying that tens of thousands of their clients are very interested in crypto. That doesn't mean they're going to buy crypto anytime soon. But what it means is all of a sudden we have this little bit of a bull market, as I'm calling it a little bull market because it's like a mini bull, okay? I didn't think we're going to go to 20,000. I said my whole time we're going to hit 10K at the end of the year. I hope I'm wrong and it's 25 or 30K because that benefits everyone watching this channel right now because all of you guys are cryptos. All right, question by Danny is, have we gone bull market? That is the main question. Yes. Once we crossed 6,500, I would say that almost every single trader would tell you that we went into a bull market. The question is, was it at all manipulated? That's what I'm talking about. Lots of your friends are wanting in now. Yeah, here, a good question for all of you to comment on. How many of you who've been in for quite a long time, how many of you have had friends, uncles, aunts, moms, grandmothers ask you, how do I get into Bitcoin in the last week or two? Because I've had quite a few people ask me how to get their crypto out. I had one of my friends that didn't even know about Quadrica that unfortunately had her coins in Quadrica and didn't know that this was happening. So that's also kind of sad. I don't want to make predictions for these crazy end of years and McAfee type predictions, but I do think that we'll be within that in a 5-figure range by the end of the year and not in a high figure range, maybe like 25,000 max, but probably in the 10K range that I said, because summer generally in any type of industry is a slow time for trading, but it is crypto, so we can see. So are we in a bull market? Yes. But a mini bull market, and we could potentially drop back down and then, come in this consolidation period again. Our Bitcoin became a stable coin, but we should see things like alts have an alt season. For example, I called Matic at 53 sats. You know what Matic is right now? It's at 177 sats. So I saw it come down after this, and it's a great project. And I said 53 sats is a good time to buy. It ended up going down to 49, but 53 sats it went up literally 262%. So there are definitely signs of bullishness in the market. My personal pick for the rest of the month from May 17th till June 1st would be EOS. It's pretty much been unscathed at all by this whole entire dip. I mean, what did it drop by today? 1% or 2%? Nothing. It didn't even have any signs of weakness because EOS has a huge reveal coming. And what I mean huge, I mean huge. The reveal that they're going to come out with from EOS is going to change the game of social media. It's going to change a lot of things. And we also are seeing on Bitcoin this support resistance flip. So if you don't know what an SR flip is, let me just delete the fib and I'll show you what a support and resistance flip looks like. So support is where we bounce from down, we come in down and we bounce back up, right? And this goes all the way back to last year. You look at a long-term time frame. But right here, this is in yellow because this was a nice support line. It was touching and coming back up, touching, coming back up. If we go back in history, it was doing the same, but then we broke through that down and now this is acting as support. So this actually turns into resistance at this point. And we'd have to try to test that resistance. That's why I drew the line up to this level and then down. And so we could go down into this level again and then back up. But I think we'll actually come towards the edge of this or the edge of the Ichimoku cloud, or we're going to come down to this second support. So that's what's going to happen. What's up with ETC? Good question. Let's check it out. ETC's, it seemed like a very much dead project. So it's quite interesting that, devs must have been doing this completely on their own. Am I buying XRP at this price? I told a lot of people that XRP, when it was 30 cents, was going to have a huge jump and it would go around 50 cents and then it would come back down and stay stable to the end of the year, about October, November. That is fully what I expect to happen, no matter if we go full bull or not, that it will not have a huge movement until October or November. So just remember that, because I'm telling you now, because this is actually what's going to happen. So ETC Neo, for your McAfee prediction, Bitcoin.top. I'll check that out. Thanks, Danny. So as we see, we actually broke out of the cloud to the other side. So we could actually see it move up a lot more. And yeah, prediction wise, I'm thinking that it will come up to this area of resistance before it actually drops down. I think we'll be in the, the 12,380 range. Oh no, this ETC, sorry. ETC's come out of it. It's in a nice bull flag formation right here, as we can see on the 4-hour. We're seeing a nice bull flag here. It could definitely go more. And remember, this is alt season now. If Bitcoin drops, it doesn't matter. Question, I also have some friends asking me how they can get into crypto. Guys, if you have friends asking you to get out of crypto, first thing you need to do is teach them what is crypto. Teach them how does it work. Teach them about how to keep their private keys safe, how to store crypto safely. Show them things like Quadrica. Show them things like today's dump. Get them prepared so that they don't get scared away from it, and just tell them to start little and understand first. The worst thing you could do is tell your friend, jump right in, or your family, jump right in with half of your freaking stack, and all of a sudden it drops in one day, they cash out at a panic, and they lose a lot of their money and blame you. Do it where you actually help them and help the industry. The way you can help this industry is very simple. It's education of regular people that are your friends and your family and others that ask you, what is this industry all about? Why are we in cryptocurrency? Because it's transparent, because blockchain is something that we can't go back and change later and say that we did something else. People can vote on blockchain. People can do a lot of different things other than just the cryptocurrency side of it. And this is why you should be more bullish on it than anything else. Don't leave coins on exchanges. Very, very good, Ricky. That's a perfect analogy. Quadrica, Mt. Gox, Binance hacks. This stuff will not stop. And DEXs are much safer, but they don't have liquidity yet. So this is why people are doing that. You can trade on exchanges, but be very careful and take your money off. If you're trading with lots of money, be super duper careful. It's something you need to do. Anything can happen at any time. So ETC wise, guys, ETC is broken out of the cloud, over the cloud, and it very well could go on to the first target I would have would be 1150 right here. So let me just draw that for you guys right now. My first target for here would be right there. Why didn't it draw? Here's my first target would be right around there, that first resistance zone. So you're looking at potential gains of somewhere around 13%. We're going to continue on an uptrend. And if we're in a bull flag, generally when you come out the flag, it will go up. It usually breaks out to the upside. So just keep that in mind. Neo's been having some weird stuff, but I'm not a really big fan of Neo. Some of you guys are. It's not that I have anything or qualms against the project. It's just stuff that I've been hearing about it is the problem that I have with it, really. Isn't it for the money, Joel? Well, you know, Danny, it is for the money. I mean, obviously some people have their own motivations. You obviously want to help them, you know, transfer wealth to this completely new industry, right? So we do have a brand new industry. Crypto is new and it's scary for a lot of people. So we have to make sure that they understand what they're getting into. You know, waking up and seeing, let's say if you have a $10,000 pot out down $2,000, you're sitting there going like, oh my God, that doesn't happen in stocks like people are used to. So is it for the money? Sure. It's a high risk, high reward type of situation until we have real institutional gold here. Question is 32 in the bottom is in. I agree. I absolutely said that. Maybe you pick up some EOS. I really like EOS. It's one of my favorites. Just think that. ETH is pretty solid during these dumps as well. Yeah, it was. It's had some ups and it's had some downs for sure, but it's been doing okay. And you know, that's what it is. Did you get in Matic? It's going nuts. I was in Matic from 53 sats, 55 sats was what I made the call. My group. If you guys don't know my group, I'll post it in here. It's t.me/Athena Project. And yeah, you can jump in there and I share some stuff for free. Lots of news and stuff that's free. Like, you don't have to pay for that. So join in. If you're watching on Facebook, click the subscribe and like button and get all this information. So you mentioned many benefits of blockchain technology we can realize without cryptocurrency. Yeah, there's definitely things that we don't need a cryptocurrency for that we can use blockchain for. A good example of that is this right here on Facebook. And another really good example of that is, you know, they came out and said Ethereum is the platform of choice for these major companies. And it is. JP Morgan, Amazon, and Microsoft Azure. They're built on top of ETH. It doesn't actually use ETH. It doesn't make ETH more profitable, but this is the stuff how they manipulate you in the market. Okay, so keep your mind on that. We're looking that we're in the cloud here, so we could do an E to E, which is an edge to edge. We could probably touch the bottom down here and get up to the top of the cloud right there. It's very possible. Just depends on what's actually going to happen in the market over the next little while. And if we want to make some targets here, we could use a fib extension and see where we could go. So in terms of targets, you know, we could see from here, you know, 1586, 1687, and then we could gap up to 1800. And if we draw some actual support and resistance lines, we'll probably see some better areas that we could actually target for the shorter term. So shorter term, we could look, or you know, that 1200, that 1.272 is looking like a really good target if you're looking for, you know, a month or two hold, something along that line. I would go for. Have you seen that someone claimed that Ledger was hacked and stole his crypto, but think it's FUD, make a mistake with his private keys? Ledger is Ledger centralized backup. Ledger is a cold storage wallet, right? So you are really in charge of your own private keys. If it's their institutional, they have an institutional ledger that they use that I just saw about 2 months ago. I was at a presentation with one of their members. That's an interesting side as well. Check BTC RSI. Okay, let me just do that quickly. So Ledger, does it have, let's see. BTC's RSI on the 4 hour is quite, it's at 39, so it's definitely crossed down to the not so bullish side. Usually when we're in a bull season, we'll stay between 50 and above, and we've crossed below and down into this 40, you know, 39 to 40 range. But we usually look on the daily, it's a little bit more accurate. So as we can see in the daily, it hasn't really come down that much. We're still in the 60, which means we could bounce back up at any time. It doesn't mean much, to be honest. MACD, you see it hooking down over here at the top, so it could come back down as well. And our super trend, it looks like it's going to turn red very soon, or if it already has not. So yeah, Bitcoin is in a volatile state right now. We have to see if this was manipulation or if we are, going to move in the right direction now. Okay, so let me just finish up here really quickly. So it's a project that I really like called UND. If you guys have never heard of it, take a look. It's called Unification. They do stuff that's really interesting. Someone said you don't need a blockchain. These guys are a hybrid, so they're really interesting. So this is my analysis on it. Right now, they're sitting around 1,950 sats. They've lost a lot against Ethereum, obviously, for many reasons, because Ethereum went on a very big bull. And if we look at Ethereum compared to BTC, like Brian was saying, it's also got a very similar chart. There's Ethereum, there's BTC. They look quite similar. And Ethereum, it's had quite a red day. In this last day, it's gone down a lot, but that's going to happen when you have crypto and we have double tops. So, it had touched the top. It doesn't really have a double top, but it's more of a head and shoulders, but the left side's a little bit higher than the right. So not exactly, but again, we see that bounce. So hard to tell you exactly what's going to happen in the market, but check the 2 hour. Okay, what's going on the 2 hour, Brian? I mean, if we saw the drop so fast, of course it's going to drop the RSI. Let's just check it out for you, brother. 2 hour, oh, it's hooking back up is what you're looking at, right? So you see that drop down to the 30 range and it's starting to hook back up. We have a nice little doji that's formed there, so it could come back up. Like I said, we're probably going to come back and test this, then we'll drop. So, the thing is with techno analysis, you never can be 100% sure, and with manipulation, it makes it really hard. And this is sheerly manipulation right there. What you saw here and what we saw with this not being able to buy, right? And what we saw with these extremely massive downturns. That's interesting, and you should always pay attention to that. Okay, so if there's no other questions, just let me know what you guys think. But MACD's looking like it's about to cross over on UND. This is a project that does some really interesting stuff. What they do is they have this thing called a work chain. A work chain is like a hybrid blockchain, so it's like a side chain, but they use the tokens to actually send the transactional data and the blocks to the blockchain. So, and to add it to a block on the blockchain. So it has a huge use case, and they already have a partnership with the hospital system in Brazil. So they're actually revenue positive. And the crazy part about this project, super low market cap, only $1.57 million is their market cap. So it's something to keep your eyes on as well. So I really love this project. It's something that I believe that will do really well long term because it has a real use case. So just keep your mind. So people said like, oh, but it's dropped in ETH value. Yeah, of course. But you know what? Here's the thing everyone forgets. With a low market cap coin, ETH may have pumped, let's say 60%. I think it's about 60% over the last couple weeks. Now, UND, if someone put in $2 million in tomorrow, it would double. So the fact that we're looking at, it dropping a little bit, it's held almost its ICO price. It's just a little bit below right now. That should tell you a lot with a huge dump that just happened. And also, while that dump was happening, it was pumping. Something also to take in consideration. So I think I'm going to leave you guys go. If there's any more questions, you're going to see me on more often, as I've been telling you. I've done 3 times this week, and I'll be doing probably 4-5 times a week from now on, and doing short little synopsis. So if you get on my YouTube channel, go on to Athena Education on YouTube. Click on the subscribe button, the bell, and the like. You'll get all the notifications when I come online, and you'll get all the notifications when I make short little videos that bring synopsis of all these longer ones when I do a live feed. Because I do understand you guys have lives, and some of you don't want to watch a live feed forever. So this is why I'm going to start doing that. I hope that makes a lot of sense. But we're going to do at least 3 live feeds a week. I'm going to be posting some videos and things that are happening in the market to kind of bring synopsis of what actually you're seeing there and what I expect to happen. But to recap everything, the Tether FUD is real. It's just really FUD. Manipulation was either manipulation or Bitstamp not being able to buy on Bitstamp, so everyone kept selling and there was no one actually buying, driving the price down. And when I guess the button turned back to buy, everyone started buying and it shot back up. And we have Facebook coin that is obviously just crushing. It will crush souls. It's making banks all over the world freak out, especially in Canada, United States, and rightfully so, honestly. Facebook has too much power, but it will help drive adoption with Samsung also having their phones being able to put out Samsung with their phones, regular phones, having crypto wallets. And Ledger obviously sold a lot more wallets after the Binance hack, but here's the really big synopsis of everything. All this negative news didn't drop the market, right? The Binance hack didn't drop the market. The Tether FUD didn't drop the market. And that, as well as crossing over 6,500 and maintaining above that, even with what just happened today, it is very bullish for the long term. So I do think that we'll have some nice bullish movement in the long term. So don't worry, we're not going to freak out and all that stuff as well. I was talking, Franklin, about Matic. So Matic, I already went over just really quickly. I'll show you again. Matic is something that I called at 53 sats just a little while ago, near the bottom where it was. And it was just near the bottom when it started to look like it was coming back up. It dropped down to 49 sats after I made the call, but then it went on a epic bull all the way up 270% or so, 250% or so. So Matic, great project, definitely doing big things, backed by Coinbase. You know, we'll have to just wait and see what's going to happen with that one, but I would not personally be buying Matic at this point. If it was me, you can do whatever you want. It's not financial advice, but when something's up that much, it's not usually the time to buy it. Same thing when you saw Bitcoin getting to that really toppy spot, you know, when it was getting to here and looking like it's coming back down, that's usually a good time to be like, all right, I'm out, see you later. I'm gonna start taking some profit. And what you should learn to do, guys, is every time you get up and you're like, you feel really good about yourself, take like 10% of your profit out. Because when we have a dip like today, you could have bought it all back here while you were selling most of it there and made more Bitcoin and bought more. So that's also something as well. So yeah, UND is a great project. I know Franklin, Matic's amazing project too. I covered it a little earlier as well. So is Bitstamp manipulating the market? It could be. It could have just been an internal error. You never know. Servers do go down. I do have a trading bot system, guys. If you never learned about that, do look into it at athenaproject.trade. It's a whole trading system in one. It has your trading view integration and everything there. I could actually show you it, but I'll do that another day because it's been a while already today. So yes, checking out from San Diego. I love that, San Diego. I would say it, but Ron Burgundy. Anyways, great seeing all you guys. I'll speak to you all again over the weekend, potentially for a short clip. And on Monday, you'll see me here yet again doing the same thing at the same time. Do not worry. The market is okay. It's not going to go to shit all of a sudden. And if it does, be ready for what I've shown you on the chart right here, because it could happen. And I'm not saying it's going to, I don't think it will, but anything in this market could happen, especially after a parabolic movement. Make sure that you're ready for the downtrend after. Usually after a parabolic movement, we're looking at a 30% retrace. So just to remind you, that is about 25%. Getting back to 63, and a lot of my friends are saying 58, which is exactly 30%. So look for that, take profit, chill, all will be good. Philip, nice to see you, man. It's the first time, but I'm just leaving, so I'll see you later. Give me a call. You know you're in Bangkok, I think. And yes, we'll all learn to trade more. I'm going to be doing videos on that as well, like how to do support and resistance and all this stuff. So keep your eyes peeled, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you everyone for watching. Smash up the likes. Coach K signing out.